Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Amplified Nevada Native Youth. I'm glad to be here with you today. My name is Avory Wyatt, but I'll introduce myself a little bit later. And so thank you for all of our newcomers, all of our returning guests that are with us for another week of Amplified Nevada Native Youth. And for those who don't know, what we do is we do college outreach and also career outreach for Native youth in the state of Nevada. And more recently, we've been getting youth outside of Nevada too. So we encourage all youth interested in colleges, careers, or any type, or who are just looking for some sort of information on what to do for the future. Feel free to come to our webpage, share our page, go through our Facebook page, look at our YouTube page too. We have all of our past videos on there with Boise State, UNLV, Haskell, SIPI, UNR, and basically we've done a lot of colleges on the West Coast so far, and we're looking to do even more in the future. And so this week we're going to be highlighting Northwest Indian College, and we're very excited to get more into that in a little bit. But first, we'll talk about next week. So next week we're going to be having Superman. And so Superman's going to talk more about what it takes to be a Native who is in music, what it takes to explore a career in music. So for a Native youth out there who are maybe rappers, singers, musicians, even like powwow people, if you're looking to promote your music a little bit more, feel free to tune in next week to our show with Superman. And yeah, and then he'll be able to give you some tips, tell you a little bit about his journey that he took for him to get into music. And also he'll tell you this about his life in general. So yeah, thanks again everybody for coming out tonight. First, I'll get into some intros again. So like I said, to introduce myself first, my name is Avory Wyatt. I'm a student at the University of Nevada, Reno. I'm a senior studying public health and political science with a minor in addiction treatment services. And I love working with Native youth. I've been working with Native youth for about the past 3 or 4 years now, just doing outreach, college outreach. And yeah, thank you all for coming today once again. And to introduce my other co-host for tonight, we have Ferdinand Romero. Ferdinand is an education programs professional for Indian education in Nevada and for the Nevada Department of Ed. So Ferdinand, would you like to introduce yourself a little more?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another evening with us through the ANNY, and I'm so excited to be able to bring on another student, another co-host with us. As you are well aware, we're with the Nevada Department of Education has a Native Youth Community Project grant with the Fort McDermott Paiute Shoshone Tribe, the Yerington Paiute Tribe, and the Walker River Paiute Tribe. And so our first youth this year is Rietta Palmer. Woo-woo! Give a warm welcome to Rietta. Drop some comments in the box if you'd like to welcome her. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Rietta.
Hi guys, my name is Rietta Palmer. I am from the Fort McDermott Paiute Shoshone Reservation, and I am currently the Fort McDermott Unity Chapter President. So I've been having a lot of fun, like being able to step up and be a leader and helping out just the kids in my community, because leadership is like one of my favorite things to do, and that's just what I enjoy doing. And thank you for having me.
Cool, no problem. Yeah, thanks, Rietta, for joining us. We're glad to have you today. We look forward to having more students like you in the future. But yeah, thank you for taking the time out of your day as a youth, especially a younger, are you still in 8th grade, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, there's someone in 8th grade, you're taking huge steps right now that you don't even realize. It's already getting involved in your college and career path, and we're so proud of you already. And yeah, we look forward to highlighting more youth like Rietta in the future. So look at our Facebook page, look at our YouTube page, and we'll just let you know when more youth are going to be coming on our show. And so to introduce our guest for today from NWIC, so we have Adam Lane. Adam is Lummi, and he's the admissions recruiter and head men's basketball coach at NWIC. So Adam, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, my name is Adam Lane. I am the admissions recruiter and head basketball coach at Northwest Indian College. I've been here for, going on 9 years now. So I've been doing outreach. I've been coaching basketball. Yeah, I'm from Lummi. That's basically it. And I'm here to talk a little bit about NWIC, our programs, and give you guys a little more information about the college.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Adam, for joining us today. Oh wait, we have a little bit of an echo. Yeah, but thanks, Adam, for joining in on us today. We're glad to hear about NWIC. We featured on multiple tribal colleges already, so we're just excited to hear about another one. We always hear new things. We hear basically every college has something different to offer. So I think that's the coolest thing about it.
Definitely, yeah. We promote other tribal colleges as well. We might not be the best option for some students, but we like to put out everything that we do offer, and then just make sure that students are aware that there are tribal colleges around. We're the only one on the West Coast, and so for Nevada students, we're one of the closer tribal colleges to them. So yeah, we just want to make sure that students are aware of their options, and they're able to find out more information and make their decision on college after that. But we're all about pushing students for higher education, no matter where it is. And we work a lot with the other tribal colleges as well.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Adam. You're always coming to Nevada, whether it's in person or virtually. So it's just always an honor to see you and all the things that you're providing to the students, like Rieta and all the other students out there that are watching tonight.
I even got my Pyramid Lake mug right here that I got when I was down there visiting. So thought I'd give a little shout out to Pyramid Lake on there too.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, thanks, Adam. We'll let you bring up your presentation real quick. But yeah, I just want to say thanks again for participating. And like I said, every college, we hear something new that we learn. And I think it's cool that every college offers something different. I think that's the best thing about it. And a lot of tribal colleges, people don't realize, like, they're all in different climates. They're in different, like, they're on different tribal lands. Like, you have different people at each college. So yeah, I mean, even though they're all tribal colleges, like designated wise, everyone's different. Like, there's new tribes, new people. So yeah, we look forward to seeing your presentation. Let me see. I'll give you time to bring that up real quick.
Share. Okay, so here's just a little bit of info on Northwest Indian College, just kind of a little history. Our mission statement is, through education, Northwest Indian College promotes Indigenous self-determination and knowledge. So a little bit of history about the college. We are a tribal college. We're located on the Lummi Indian Reservation in Bellingham, Washington. And we provide learning certificates, associate's degrees, and bachelor's degrees. And as a tribal college, our vision is to deliver an education that is grounded in tribal values and teachings, building a bridge between our traditional experiences and knowledge and contemporary life. So Northwest Indian College evolved from the Lummi Indian School of Aquaculture in 1974, and this provided training for our local community members for our salmon and shellfish hatchery that we have here on the Lummi Reservation. And then in 1983, we transitioned to Lummi Community College to start offering associate degrees. And then from there, in 1989, we changed the name to Northwest Indian College with the intent of serving a broader, wider range of Native students. And then in 2010, we started offering our bachelor's degrees. So we became accredited in 93 for associate's degrees, and then in 2010 for bachelor's degrees. So getting started is super easy. It's a real easy process. There's just a few short steps. So applying to school is the first thing you want to do. So the great thing about our college is that it's free to apply. There's no application fees. So you just have to head to our website, www.nwic.edu. And it's right there on the front page. Click on that. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. You'll just need to a few pieces of information, your tribal affiliation verification, transcripts, complete your FAFSA, your financial aid data sheet for Northwest Indian College. And then while you're there, you can actually submit our housing application, which is right on our website as well. And then the next step, many of you might have already done this or are starting to think about it, but filling out your FAFSA. So this is key for making sure you get your financial aid, and trying to get all of your college paid for. You want as much assistance as possible. So you can go to studentaid.gov with a little bit of information there. Our NWIC school code is listed here, 021800. You can usually look that up when you fill that out as well, but you'll need, income tax returns, W-2 forms, bank statements, information, social security number, driver's license, all that info when you're filling that out. And then the next step, before you register for classes, you have to schedule an appointment to take the AccuPlacer test. And this is just a placement test to figure out where you are in your math, reading, and writing, to determine where you start at once you arrive to campus. So right now, due to the pandemic, we've been doing all of these from a distance. So right now, you can call with our advisors, and then they'll make an appointment. You can actually take that test online. And then after that, you'll meet with an academic advisor, figure out what your program to study, what you want to do, and then create your degree plan. And then our advisors here are awesome. They'll sit down, create an advising worksheet. And then with that, it's just kind of your breakdown of, your classes, what classes you need to graduate, which class you're going to take each quarter. So you'll get a plan right from the start, which classes and everything you need to do to make sure you get through and graduate on time. And then next, just register and start attending classes. So our priority deadline is June 15th for the fall, but you can actually register for classes up until the first week of the quarter. But we definitely recommend getting started early, trying to meet that June 15th deadline, because classes do start to fill up, and especially with your financial aid, you want to get that done early as well.
And really quick, is there for the spring?
Spring,
or did it already pass?
No, so it's basically the same. We get the most students for fall quarter, so we put that out as our priority deadline. But if there's students, we can actually register students for. We're on the quarter system, so fall quarters coming to an end here in a few weeks, and then we can register students for winter quarter all the way up until the first week of January. And then for spring quarter, all the way up until the first week of April. So yeah, it's pretty open. We do the best we can. We try and get every student. Try not to turn any students away. So we work really well with students. Trying to get them in. Whenever they're able to. So a little more info about the college, the cost of attendance. So our tuition rate is $135.52 per credit. And that's the resident tuition rate. The non-resident rate is $379.89. So it's a pretty big difference. And any student who's enrolled in or a descendant of a tribe from any state is considered a resident. So it's not just Washington students. It's not just native students from Washington State. It's anyone who's enrolled in a federally recognized tribe or a descendant of. They get our resident tuition rate, and it saves a significant amount of money for students. So a full-time student taking 12 credits, you're looking at about $1,626 per quarter, or just under $5,000 for the year. And then if you add student fees, you're looking at just over $5,000 for the year for tuition. And then if you add student housing, so our dorms are right on campus, and they run about $900 a quarter, or $2,700 for the year. And then the meal plan, that's all your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire time that you're on campus. And that runs $750 a quarter, or $2,250 for the year. So if you add all that up, tuition fees, room and board, you're looking at just over $10,000 for the year. So paying for college. So like I said before, with FAFSA, that's the primary source for our students paying for college. We don't do student loans at the college. So our students are able to come in, complete their degree, 2-year or 4-year degree, and not owe any money back after they're done. So that's the goal for all of our students. We don't do student loans. So there's, are confident we can make that happen for all of our students we get. So the scholarships that we offer, there's tons and tons of scholarships that we offer for our students. And those are available on our website. You can go into our financial resources page on our website, and then there's scholarship information. And they'll list every scholarship available for our students. And then if you are a student, all of these get sent to your student email. So you're the first to know anytime there's a new scholarship available. So we always encourage students, make sure you're checking your emails and filling out these scholarships, because that's free money for our students, and that money goes a long way in paying off your tuition and your bills. Tribal higher education funding. So many tribes offer funding available to help their students pay for school. We work with a lot of tribes, and then if you haven't talked to your tribe already, get a hold of them, figure out what's there and what's available. Another way to cut down costs is we've been offering tuition-free courses during the summertime. So most students won't take a full load of classes, but you can take a class or two in the summer, and then that helps you complete your degree on time or even early. And then helps cut down your tuition costs on the year. And then we have other funding sources, general assistance and BFIT. They help our students with if they qualify with their bills. GA helps significantly with our students and their housing costs. If students qualify, they can get up to $350 a month for their housing. And to stay in the dorms, it's $300 a month, so that covers your entire cost for staying at the dorms. Student overview. So this is based on a couple of years ago, but it's pretty. We pretty much hit these numbers each year. For the entire year, we'll have over 2,100 students, but that's the number of students who take classes throughout the year. So on average, our main campus up here in Bellingham will have around 300 to 400 students on campus. So pretty small, tight-knit community, but throughout the year, we get a significant amount of students who take classes with us. Native American student population. So we're a tribal college. We have primarily Native students. 70% female. We have over 115 different tribes represented. So it's not just students from our area, from the Northwest. We get students who come from all over the country to take classes with us. The average age for our students is 32, so we get quite a few students who come to school later, or decide to come back to school later in life. Our main campus, we get more of the traditional students right out of high school. But we'll get a significant amount of people who are coming back to school. And then our average graduate GPA is 3.28. So all of our students who are going through completing their degree program, they're doing really well in school. Courses offered on campus, day and night courses. So this is on a normal year. This year is not a normal year for us with the pandemic, but we'll offer classes day and night on our main campus and at our extended sites. We also offer ITV courses where students can video in with the main campus for those who aren't able to make it to campus. We have independent learning courses, and these are for students who may not, you might have a job, or they're not your traditional students. You might have a family and you can't make it to class during the times that are provided for the school. So you can do your work at your own pace. And then online courses. So right now, all of our courses are online. The pandemic's actually helped us in that way. Before, we weren't offering the majority of our classes online. So only one of our degree programs you could complete online. But now, because of that, we're able to get all of our courses and all of our degree programs able to complete online. So our sites, we offer 7 different site locations around Washington and Idaho. So some of the larger tribes, they have sites, and their students can stay home and take classes from the sites. And a number of them, you'll have a class, and then there'll be students from different sites taking your class with you here at our Lummi campus. So our main campus in Lummi, we've completed 9 new buildings since 2007. So we've been slowly expanding our campus. And the total number of buildings we have is up to 24. If you go to our website, we actually have a walking tour of campus. So you can go online, click on the link that's here. It's right on our main page on our website. You can click on that and actually go through campus, see what everything looks like. And it actually takes you into the dorms, and you can get an up-close view of what the dorms look like as well. But here's an aerial view. Those new buildings, they're on the bottom half of the screen, our South Campus. And then up above on the North Campus, right next to the softball fields, that's our original campus. And we still use all of those buildings too. But here's just some pictures, our bookstore, student union. On the north side of campus, our log building, we host a lot of events there. Computer classroom, cultural arts center. A number of classes are offered on the north side of campus. And then we get to the south side of campus, and there's our dorms, our residence life center. So our dorms are brand new. They hold up to 67 students. So we don't often get that high, but we'll be over 60 students. So it's important, if you're planning on living in the dorms, to get your application in early, because they do fill up rather quickly. But they're co-ed dorms. You get 2 to 3 people to a room. There's standard rooms, and then there's lofts. So the loft rooms have 3 people in them, 2 down below and then 1 up above. And then there's a shared bathroom. So the bathrooms will be shared with the dorm next door to you, with the same gender students. And and then there's a meal plan that goes along with that. And then for our students who have families, we have our Quina Village apartments too. So there's a little bit more space, another opportunity for our students who, dorms aren't necessarily what their aren't going to help satisfy their space needs. Our Center for Student Success. So this is the building you want to get to know as a student. It's our student services building. So it's kind of your one-stop shop. You can come in here, do your admissions application, enrollment, financial aid, testing, advising, trio athletics, recruitment, and outreach. So you want to get to know the staff here really well, because they're the ones that are going to be helping you out the most throughout your time here. Our science and natural resources lab. So this is, if you have any science labs, science classes, they'll be taking place in this class. Quina Classroom, another new classroom and office building that we have. Our cooperative extension offers community outreach classes, traditional plants and foods, budgeting classes for students while you're on campus, all kinds of good info. And then our Salish Sea Research Facility. This is a building dedicated to marine research, and mostly upperclassmen in the science program will be using this, but sometimes we'll get outside organizations that use it as well. And then our library and tech building, our Coast Salish Institute. This is where our Native Studies and our Human Services program operate out of. And then we're still building toward the future. So we have 2 buildings left, and that's the Health and Wellness Center, or our gym, and then the Workforce Training Center. So we've broken ground on both of them, and we're just waiting for them to go up. So student activities for anyone who's coming to campus. Like I said, we're in Bellingham. We're in the Pacific Northwest. Bellingham's it's a college town. There's about 90,000 students here. Along with us at Northwest Indian College, Western Washington University is located here in Bellingham. They're NCAA Division II school, Whatcom Community College, and Bellingham Technical College. But we're situated where we are. We're right on the water in the Puget Sound, with the San Juan Islands to our west, the Canadian border is to the north, the Cascade Mountain Range is to the east, and we have Seattle about 100 miles to the south of us. So we're kind of right in the middle of everything here. It's a very outdoorsy community. There's tons and tons of trails around for hiking, jogging, and biking. lakes for swimming when it gets warmer, fishing, all kinds of fun stuff to do. Here's a picture of the town. You can see Mount Baker and the Cascades in the background there. The San Juan Islands. So me personally, I'm a commercial fisherman. I've been fishing my whole life, so I spent quite a bit of time on the San Juans, and it's just unbelievable. Mount Baker. In the wintertime, the ski area is open. I think it's just open or about to open up. So if anybody's into skiing or snowboarding or just wants to, go see the snow, that's available. And then we do have Seattle right to the south. So there's a ton to do in Seattle. The Space Needle, Seattle Center, Pike Place Market. All kinds of buildings and businesses and everything to see down there as well. And then Vancouver, BC is just to the north. So Vancouver is actually closer to us than Seattle is. But Vancouver, again, that's another beautiful city. And then for students on campus, so we have student clubs and activities here. Our Indigenous Service Learning does like community outreach projects. American Indian Business Leader is our club for our business students. ACES for our science and engineering students. Our Rocket Club is actually a club here on campus where our students build and design rockets, and then travel around and do different competitions across the country with other colleges. We have a ski and boarding club, so we'll take students up to the mountain, up to Mount Baker. We also have a skate park right here on campus as well for anybody who's into skateboarding. Powwow Club, our AHEC competitions, I'll talk a little bit about those in a minute. And then our theater and play production put together a performance every year. So our athletic department, we have both men's and women's basketball. We've offered other sports in the past. It just kind of depends on interest. So we've had volleyball, cross country, track, softball, canoeing, tennis, all available for our students. And then our students are also able to compete in intramural sports at Whatcom and Western as well. So Whatcom and Western have, I think Whatcom's close to 10,000 students and Western's even more than that. Around 15,000 or 20,000 students. So larger universities with more opportunities, and our students are able to compete in all kinds of intramural activities that they offer as well. I know I had my basketball players playing in the intramural league up there last year. But our men's and women's basketball, we compete within the American Indian Higher Education Consortium, and then we won the national championships in 2012 and 2013, so we're overdue for another one. Here's a picture of the guys and then the girls team. So our college teams were independent institutions, so we play a really highly competitive schedule. We play every level of hoops, prep schools, JUCO, Christian colleges, NAIA, NCAA. So we've played a few NCAA D1 schools, a lot of D2s and D3 schools. We'll play upward of 40 games during the season. So our guys were champs last year. We were on the road basically every weekend. We've had trips with 5 games in 7 days in 4 cities. So we put in a lot of work, and the guys work really hard, and it's a grind, and it's even more important that our guys are staying up on their academics as well. So if we do study halls and make sure everyone's staying up on their homework and everything during the season. And then at the end of the year, we play in a national tournament, like I said, at the AHEC with all the other tribal colleges across the country.
So Adam, are you the men and the women?
So I've done both. Right now I'm the men's coach, and then our athletic director. Our women's team this past year didn't have as many games, and our athletic director had to be here on campus more. So our men's team, I think we played like 37 games last year. So I took them on for the year, and then Mike coached the girls, and they only had a handful of games. But right now I've been more focused on the men's, just because of that. Our women's team hasn't had as many games the past couple of years. which we're trying to change that. We had a change a couple of years ago with the women's coach. And so, I don't know, being at a tribal college, you kind of take on a lot of different hats, and you just kind of got to step in and roll with everything.
Right. And Beans, do you play basketball too?
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to playing some ball in college.
She'll be hearing from me in a few years. But yeah, so we, like I said before, we travel all over Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, California, Colorado, Alaska, Hawaii. So we try to get one, really good, really fun trip in every year. This last year we went to San Francisco. So we played a few games down there. Got to see the city, check out the area, and took the guys to Six Flags. On our off days. So they're working hard. So we try to reward the guys every year. With one trip, Alaska, we've gone to Alaska and Hawaii. We were supposed to go to Hawaii this year, but everything's been canceled so far. So next year we're planning to go back. And then AHEC, it's a different tribal college hosted every year. So we've hosted it here in Washington, Montana, a couple different places in Montana, North and South Dakota, New Mexico, Minnesota. So lots of opportunities to travel, see new places. And then for our guys, it's a great opportunity for exposure. A number of them come here with the dream to, go play at a 4-year somewhere at the NCAA level or the NAIA level. So we like to give them that opportunity. But the AHEC, like I said, it's a collection of all the tribal colleges across the country. There's 37 tribal colleges. And then there's a student conference that they host every year. So all the tribal colleges will come together. And then there's athletic competitions as well as academic competitions. So we do our basketball every year. There's a volleyball and archery competition, but there's also knowledge bowl, science bowl, speech, business, web design, acting, film. There's all kinds of different competitions for every type of student. And it's a great opportunity to just go and, be around people who are kind of like yourself, attending the tribal college, come from a reservation, and just, give you a chance to see new places and meet new people. But here's a list of all the tribal colleges across the country. We're up there in the Northwest. And then lastly, our degree programs. So we offer 4 bachelor's degrees: Native Environmental Science, Native Studies Leadership, Tribal Governance and Business Management, and then our CARE program, which is our Human Services program. And then we do still offer all of our 2-year degrees as well. So a number of our students come here, do their transfer degree, and then move on to another school, another university, closer to home, or, we might not offer the degree program that they want to get into, but you can still do those prereqs and all those classes with us. And we're fully accredited as well. But we'll talk a little bit about our science program here. So Native Environmental Science, anyone who's interested in the science field, we have 2 different options for this degree program. So there's like a broad environmental science option. It kind of covers a little bit of everything. And then we have an interdisciplinary option. And this allows you to kind of create your own path, create your own degree. So you'll actually meet with an advisor and decide, what you want to study, and then, which classes you're going to take to fulfill that. So these are some of the programs that our students have done. Lots of biology, fisheries, marine, wetland biology, soil conservation and science, water quality, air quality, GIS, environmental policy, environmental management, forestry. Basically anything within the science program, you can design your degree around. So courses in the program, you'll take your general ed classes, native studies classes, and then you'll do biology, chemistry, geology, math. Native American political science, ecology, Native environmental science seminar, and then your elective courses. And then our Native Studies Leadership Program. So this is our Native Studies program. Lots of Native Studies, history courses, Native American government and politics, cultural sovereignty, indigenous theories and methods, traditional leadership. And then our tribal governance and business management. So this is for students who want to get into either tribal government or business. And again, like some of our other programs, there's a few different concentrations that you can go down. So if you just want to study tribal government or business management, tribal entrepreneurship, casino management, it allows you to do that. So these are some of the courses in the program: business law, financial and managerial accounting, contemporary tribal economics, Native government and politics, project management, grant management, marketing and finance. And then last for our 4-year programs is our CARE program. So anyone interested in human services, psychology and sociology classes, for our students who want to get into, social work, working for their tribe, systems theories in human services, policy and law and tribal human services, preparing for field education, planning and evaluating tribal programs. Lots of different options. And then we have a number of two-year programs that I didn't cover yet, but our most popular is probably our general direct transfer degree. And that's just for any student who might not know what they want to do. They don't know what they want to study, but it kind of lets you take some classes, figure out what you want, maybe get into an internship or something like that, and figure out what you want to do after that. But that's all I have for my slides. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'd be happy to answer.
I have a quick question. What is the number of instructors that are at your school who
That's
are
a
Native?
good question. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to find that information and get back to you. But a number of our faculty, a number of our staff are all former students here. So a lot of students come here and never leave. You find a good community, a family up here. Really is what we are. And then our whole building, I'd say 2/3 of our building in here are people who went to Northwest Indian College.
Right. And man, those buildings are beautiful.
Yeah, it's so when I came here, it was just the north side of campus, so we didn't have any of this new stuff. We had they're basically old portable buildings over there, and that's where our classes were. And now to see it grow like this, it's amazing. It's so awesome. I don't know, it just makes me so happy to see it. And I'm just waiting for our gym now.
So before Avery gets into the questions, so I went to school at Haskell and one of the guys was from Lemmy, so we used to make fun and say, "Let me have a drink. Let me have a piece of bread." I thought about that after the fact. But
let me know. That's what people always say to
me. That's funny. I guess to start off, so what's it like? I know you mentioned that there's over 115 Native students at the college, but what's it like to be Native in the region? Is it located on the reservation?
Yeah, so we're on the reservation. So I feel like students who come here automatically, like it gives them a level of comfort, just being on the reservation. And then, you're here on campus with students who are just like you. So, students are coming from all over, but, most of them kind of have a, similar background. You grew up on the reservation and everyone kind of, gravitates toward each other.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Did you have a Beans? Did you want to go? Did you have a question?
I saw that you had the powwow club. Like, do you guys host powwows there, or do you guys have any lead dancers or lead drums there?
Yeah, so we, prior to the pandemic, we hosted a fall and a spring powwow. So it had been a while. It had been a few years before we hosted a powwow, and then we hosted one in the spring, and it was huge. Like, we were only expecting, a small group of people, and then all these people showed up. So we're like, oh, maybe we should, get more into this, because our students, you can start a club for basically anything on campus, and that's one of the things is, everywhere you go, there's students who have been to powwows or want dancers or whatever. So they started going to all of them around here. There's kind of a circuit that starts up in the springtime, and then we hosted one, and it was really successful. So we after that we started hosting one in the fall and the spring, to help accommodate everybody, and it's been awesome. But now it's been a little while since we've hosted. I think it was last fall we hosted our powwow, was the last one. So hopefully we can get back to doing that soon.
Beans, you're a tradition or a jingle dress dancer, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so I know you mentioned there was like that. I think it was it called the Native Center, or it was like the main building on campus?
Like our student union, or
yeah.
So our student union, that's another place. So when we do have students here on campus, they're cooking. They'll serve lunch, free lunch. You can go over there and kind of mingle with everybody on campus. One of the instructors here has a thing every Wednesday where they cook stone soup and different kinds of soup from all over the world, really. And it's just a great opportunity to go in there and kind of mingle with everybody. Have a free meal. Everybody loves a free meal too. So, but that's always good. And then they always host stuff during midterms and finals for study jams and things like that. So people have a place to go and study. Everybody's kind of going through their struggles when midterms and finals come around. So, everyone, there's so many good support groups here on campus. There's a lot of people who do a lot of really good things with our students.
Cool. Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, because I know a lot of Native students, they tend to feel isolated on campus, like at some point during college. But yeah, that sounds like a good spot for students to go eat food, connect with other Native students too. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
So are there any other places to eat around the area that is local?
Yeah,
I'm always the one to ask that question.
So back when I was, in the 2000s, there was a guy. He's a local person. He had his little food stand that he had, but he's not around anymore. And then I was kind of getting worried lately. And then a couple of weeks ago, somebody just started their own food truck, and it's one of our local community members. And I haven't got a chance to try it yet. But basically everyone, who's put up a food truck around here, they know what to cook everybody. But our casino's right down the road as well. They have a lot of food options. And then our tribe has recently opened a couple of, gas station, truck stop type places where they have, pizza and burgers and all that kind of stuff. So, I've eaten my share of pizza and burgers from there for sure. And then Bellingham's right there. So we're actually between Bellingham and Ferndale. Ferndale's a little smaller of a town, but there's all kinds of restaurants, fast food, everything, 5 or 10 minutes down the road. So we're kind of away from everything, but we're not too far away from everything at the same time.
That's good. Beans, you got a question?
What was one of the coolest memories you had at NWIC?
So as a student, going through high school, I wasn't a great student. I felt like I was smart, but I never always translated the grades. And then once I got here, it got things kind of clicked a little bit. So when I was a student here, I was the AHEC Student of the Year. So I got this award. I got to go to like Green Bay. They flew me over. The college flew me over, and I got to go through this big ceremony and stuff for that. And you get a scholarship. But just going through that whole experience, I was having dinner with the president of our college and things like that. Just little things like that. It was awesome. It was such a cool experience for me. And then as a staff member, we won the AHEC national tournament. So I was an assistant coach with the men at the time. But that was just so cool. Our whole community, we get students from all over. So it doesn't always feel like we're connected. But we won the AHEC, and everyone, they come to our games and everything. But they came out. We had a parade and all this, there's just this whole celebration for a few days when we got back. It was awesome. Then we, all of our guys got a championship ring, and it was just a really cool experience.
Yeah, those are really fun to go to. When I was at Haskell, we'd go to the AHEC conferences. It's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I try and tell all of our students, like, if you get a chance, you have to go. It's just so much fun. And they always have fun activities for everyone over there too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I was gonna ask, so what? Oh, wait 1 second. I was trying to think of the question. It was on the tip of my tongue. What advice would you give to future Indigenous college students or athletes who are thinking about either going to NWIC or even just to play college sports in general?
I would just, start off, just put in that extra work, if you're in middle school or high school or whatever it is, just put that extra work in, whether it's, staying after, getting a workout in, if you're a basketball player, getting some extra shots up, or whatever you have to do, put in that work when nobody else is. That's going to help, and once you get to college, or even high school, you're going to have a coach, and then they're going to want to see that, they want to know if you're going to work harder than the rest of them. And then just kind of be your own self promoter. We had a few guys this year, and they went on to play at the NAIA level. So one of them, he's playing at Bacone College in Oklahoma. Another one went to a school in California, and then there's another one in Portland. And they put in the work, outside of, we practice, we have all our games and everything, but they're online, putting together a highlight tape, emailing coaches. They're the ones, I sent out a few emails for them, talk to coaches, but they're the ones who went out there. Sam, I think, sent 200 or 300 emails to every type of college, and he got enough response back to where he got to pick and choose where he wanted to go. So he had a few offers for scholarships that he wouldn't have gotten if he didn't do that. So he was really proactive and out there. It's as simple as sending a quick email, introduce yourself. Here's a link to my highlight tape. This is what I did this year for my team. This is the type of player I am. Things like that go a long way with coaches. And there's a lot of colleges that have a lot of money, and they're offering scholarships, and they don't always get to see everybody who's available for them. And so doing that, just putting yourself on the radar like that, I mean, that goes a long way.
You hear that, Beans?
Did you have another question, Beans?
What is the thing you're most thankful about working at NWIC?
Well, first of all, it's on my home reservation, so I get to stay close to home. A lot of the community members here are my family members. So I get to see and deal with my family basically on a daily basis. And then the community here, like the staff, the students, everybody, it's such a close-knit community that everyone here becomes family. And some of the people I work with now were working here when I played basketball here and used to go to my games and everything. And everybody's so supportive. It's awesome. It's just it's the best. It's the best place to be.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds amazing. Like all the opportunities it offered so far were pretty cool. We have some Facebook questions that we want to share real quick. Let me bring those up. And so the first question is, do you have any bridge programs between NWIC and any local colleges?
Not specific bridge programs, but we do, a number of our students will go on Western Washington University here in Bellingham. And then the Evergreen State College is another one. We send a significant amount of students into their MPA program from our tribal governance program. And then we have a handful. It's kind of different for everybody, but we've had a handful that have gone on to UW, Washington State University, Arizona State. It just kind of depends on each student. But we get opportunities that present themselves to our students all the time. So I don't know how many times I've been at a conference and then somebody from University of North Dakota comes up to me and says, hey, like, do you have any students? We're looking, we have all this scholarship money and, we're looking for students to add to our program. So there's, I mean, that stuff happens daily. So there's tons and tons of opportunities.
Cool. And so Beans, we're going to put up the next question for you. It is from Dwayne. So if we can queue up the next one.
Hey, Dwayne.
Wait, do I read it?
Yeah, you're good.
I was waving to Dwayne.
Do I read it? Or
yeah, you're good, Beans. You can read it.
Does your institution have counselors to help with job placement or a transition to other institutions?
So usually our advisors will help out a lot with that. So especially once you get to the upper level classes, and 300-400 level classes, if you're thinking about going into a master's program, they'll have those opportunities and help you out. There's a lot of help here on campus where they help you write a cover letter or whatever if you're applying, doing letters of recommendation and everything. But basically it boils down to our advisors. I mean, our advisors are awesome. They do so much work for our students. And the students who end up going on to another place, either for a bachelor's or a master's program or into a job, they're working with their advisor every day. Our advisors are so open, you can text them or, send them a Facebook message, anything like that. And they're going to relay all of those opportunities and let you know, what's next, what the next steps are to do for you.
Cool. And so we have one last Facebook question, and it says, do you have any dual enrollment programs for high school students or any programs geared towards high school students right now?
So in Washington, we have a Running Start program. So I don't know if it applies to students outside of Washington State, but any student who's in Washington State can take classes here their junior year. So they can start enrolling in our college classes. If you do it by your junior year, you can actually graduate with your AA degree the same time as you graduate high school.
Cool. Yeah, I love hearing all this stuff. Like, honestly, it's just thinking about all the stuff all of our tribal colleges offer is just so amazing to hear. And like I said, like we've heard like from Haskell, NWIC now, SIPI, and all these colleges offer like things that Native students absolutely need. And honestly, the stuff that tribal colleges offer are tended to be missing from larger universities. So I think that's really important. Why I've been really pushing tribal colleges to Native students that I know too. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. This has been very informative. Every time I listen to it, it gets more and more, I get more and more information and more questions to contact you about.
And Beans, did you have anything to say?
Just one real quick question. Do you have any like specific leadership programs or any like programs for kids that aren't in high school like me, because I'm still in 8th yet? Like, is there anything that I could do?
Usually we'll host a camp, but it's been a couple years since we hosted our youth camp. And then that, our youth camp, it varies what it focuses on. Our past ones have been more for science, but they cover a little bit of everything. But right now, nothing quite yet. Once everything kind of dies down with the pandemic, we'll be looking to, bring more opportunities for, middle school, high school students.
Cool. Yeah, like I told you earlier, Beans, like you're way ahead of the game. Like when you look at college pathway resources for Native students, like they doesn't even start at 8th grade. So you being already here listening to this is such a huge advantage. And just honestly tell your friends too. Tell your friends to join in on these episodes. Tell them to just get more involved, like with our YouTube page, because yeah, this is a lot of info, and it's good if you know it now, you'll know it forever. And NWIC is always going to be on your mind now. So.
And cool. Beans is amazing. Woohoo!
Yeah, thanks, Adam, for joining us today. We're going to get ready to close it up. But yeah, I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your day to be with us tonight. I love all the info. It was a really good presentation. But yeah, thank you for being here with us, and we look forward to interacting in the future sometime.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Cool. Beans, did you have anything to close for us today? Any advice you have for your friends, any other youth that you know that may be watching?
Not really, but just stuff that I usually say is like try to be more social, Just trying to step up, because that's kind of how I got here.
Yep, take that risk. That's what we talked about in past episodes too. So any youth out there, listen to Beans, take that risk. I know it's hard. Like I grew up really shy too, but just taking that risk, stepping out of that comfort zone is honestly, it makes it feel a lot better than sitting back and really just staying quiet. So yeah, thanks, Beans.
Yeah. I also want to mention that, this is a student-focused, student-ran ANNY episodes, and Avery came up with this all on his own. And so I can imagine what his life is going to be like after he graduates, and Beans, you're right behind him, as well as a whole bunch of other youth who are awesome and amazing as well. So,
cool.
Oh, you too.
So before we end it tonight, we'll like to highlight again what we're going to be having for next week. And so next week we're going to be bringing in Superman, and Superman's going to talk about exploring a career in music. He's going to talk about his journey to where he is today. And feel free, if you're a music person out there, if you're in the powwow music, rap, hip hop, singing, just feel free to tune in. Superman's really going to go into his career and the hard work it takes really to become a musician, and especially during a pandemic, what he's doing and some of the struggles he had. And yeah, he'll give you tips on how to be successful and be a successful musician in the future. So yeah, thank you. We look forward to seeing everyone next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Dina, do you have anything else to say? I think I'm good. Follow our social media, follow our old YouTube page, our YouTube videos. We have colleges, we have Native professionals who are on there. Check them out. And yeah, thank you all for being here tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.